Tsunekazu Ishihara from the Pokemon Company. Since this is the second Pokemon Direct, I'd like to provide you with new information about Pokemon X and Pokemon Y. First, I'd like to welcome Mr. Iwata from Nintendo.
Hello everyone, this is Satoru Iwata from Nintendo. Although I'm usually the one who delivers new game information on Nintendo Direct from Nintendo's headquarters, this time, since we are at the Pokemon Company office in Roppongi, Tokyo, we've requested Mr. Ishihara to be the host of this Pokemon Direct.
And today, we've also invited Mr. Masuda from Game Freak as well.
This is Junichi Masuda from Game Freak. Thank you for having me.
As the second Pokemon Direct, we'd like to deliver the latest information about Pokemon X and Y releasing on October 12th worldwide directly to you. Since the Japanese release of Pokemon Red and Green in 1996, things have changed a lot over the years. The first Pokemon titles were for this very large Game Boy. At that time, there really wasn't much of an internet, let alone communication over wireless networks, so we used this link cable to connect.
Looking at it now, it's huge. Like an arcade machine. I haven't seen this cartridge in a long time.
The cartridge looks huge after not seeing it for so long.
Well, as I'm looking at the package, along with its operation manual and map, my eyes well up. These bring back memories.
So, after the release of Pokemon Red and Blue, there was the yellow Pikachu version. Then, after a long wait, Pokemon Gold and Silver were released.
And then Crystal.
Oh right, it was Crystal. So, Game Boy Advance arrived. And when we were working on remaking Pokemon Red and Green for Game Boy Advance, we were experimenting with a wireless adapter. So I actually brought it to Mr. Ishihara and asked if he would be interested in using it. I was able to make the same suggestion to Mr. Masuda soon after that as well. And that's when I realized how convenient the wireless connection would be.
That's right.
Yes, we were able to create a lot of ideas. It was really interesting to think about what we would be able to do without the cables.
Then, when Nintendo DS came out, the wireless connection became standard on the hardware. And that's when Diamond and Pearl were released and where internet connectivity was achieved at last. That's when I realized how far we had come in connecting to one another. Today, I see even more progress, and we're trying to achieve something similar to continuous connectivity. From the beginning, Mr. Ishihara had always said, a signature of Pokemon is openness. In other words, as Mr. Ishihara has been saying, because you interact with others, Pokemon games are different from games that you play alone.
Players were connected via 3-foot-long cables at first. Then with the wireless adapters, they were able to connect without a cable. With the addition of the internet, they're now able to interact with people on the other side of the Earth. So the range of communications has definitely become broader.
So, as to how communication in games has changed, I'd like Mr. Masuda to talk about one more thing. Is that okay, Masuda-san?
Sure.
We're developing download-exclusive software for Nintendo 3DS that supports Pokemon X and Y called Pokemon Bank. If you use Pokemon Bank, you can put your Pokemon in a box that resides on the internet and take them out as needed. In Pokemon X and Y, you can only store a limited number of Pokemon. But with Pokemon Bank, you can put Pokemon in 100 different boxes. That's 3,000 total Pokemon you can store in Pokemon Bank. Also, you can easily search for any Pokemon you need from Pokemon Bank with a variety of search options. So you don't need to worry about not being able to find what you're looking for, even if you have many Pokemon stored there. For those who want to collect as many different kinds of Pokemon as possible, or someone who wants to train many Pokemon for battles or tournaments, Pokemon Bank is the perfect tool. Additionally, you can transfer Pokemon that you collected in Pokemon Black, Pokemon White, Pokemon Black 2, and Pokemon White 2 to Pokemon X and Y. For this, you use another application that works together with Pokemon Bank called Poke Transporter. When you use Poke Transporter with a Nintendo 3DS system and with Pokemon Black, Pokemon White, Pokemon Black 2 or Pokemon White 2 in the card slot, you can transfer Pokemon from your 3DS to your Pokemon Bank box on the internet. Then, through Pokemon Bank, you can move your transferred Pokemon into Pokemon X and Pokemon Y. For everyone who's played the Pokemon series for a long time, I'm sure all the Pokemon that you have trained are very important to you. So I hope you can take them with you and make them come alive in Pokemon X and Pokemon Y. You can download Poke Transporter as an add-on after purchasing and downloading Pokemon Bank. We're currently developing both with the goal of making them easy and convenient for everyone to use. We'll release more information on the official Pokemon website as it becomes available, so please stay tuned.
Optional services like Pokemon Bank and Poke Transporter will give you the option to keep your Pokemon, which were only stored on handheld systems in the past, correct?
Yes, that's correct. For several years, we talked about a way Pokemon games could have a service that lets people put their Pokemon in the cloud and then take them out as needed. Our conversation certainly served as a vision for the Pokemon Bank and Poke Transporter. And now, it's becoming a reality.
I think everyone has Pokemon that they put their hearts into training and eventually become stronger as their journey went on. In other words, the save data has the best memories for players. So, when you think about long-term relationships with our customers, we thought we should have a service that let customers store their Pokemon. I think we've talked about this for 5 years or so. And finally, it's coming true.
Actually, the other day, I had the opportunity to talk with Shoko Nakagawa. And, as everyone knows, she loves Pokemon.
I read her book and was so surprised. She's so enthusiastic.
Then, at the end of the interview, she told me that she wished I would create something like Pokemon Bank. She wanted her Pokemon that she trained to be securely stored and passed down to her kids and grandkids.
Kids and grandkids.
She wanted something like Pokemon Bank because she wanted her kids and grandkids to remember that their grandma fought battles using Charizard. At that time, I couldn't tell her about it. But now it's official. We are making Pokemon Bank.
Mr. Masuda, did you agree with the idea of making such a service a reality?
Well, I've also had the concept of Pokemon Bank for a long time. So, of course I agreed. I wanted to collect all the Pokemon data and send it to a server using a mobile adapter in Pokemon Crystal. My idea expanded from that point on. Now with the cloud that can store all that data, it's reliable and able to provide customers with a fun service that's different from just trading Pokemon.
In past Pokemon games, we did release software that let players transfer Pokemon, such as Pokemon Box, Ruby and Sapphire for Nintendo GameCube, which let players store Pokemon from the Game Boy Advance Pokemon series. Also, My Pokemon Ranch, a WiiWare title, let players store Pokemon from the series released for Nintendo DS, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. Pokemon Bank, a downloadable tool for the 3DS, is a paid service that will allow players to have secure and convenient access. Because this will be a long-term service that requires management and maintenance of the system to store Pokemon, as well as compatibility with future titles, there will be an annual fee. Pokemon Bank will be released on Nintendo eShop later this year. If there's anything else that's new to Pokemon X and Pokemon Y, could you share it with us, Mr. Masuda?
Sure. In the past Pokemon games, the story began when the Pokemon Professor let you choose one of 3 Pokemon. However, in Pokemon X and Y, your first partner Pokemon, Chespin, Fennekin, or Froakie, won't be given to you by the Professor, but by your friend instead. Then you'll receive a different Pokemon from the Professor later on. What you get from the Professor is one of the partner Pokemon from the original Pokemon Red and Pokemon Blue: Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle. So you get either Chespin, Fennekin, or Froakie, the Pokemon X and Y starters, plus Bulbasaur, Charmander, or Squirtle to take with you on your journey. I'm sure there are a lot of you who made Bulbasaur, Charmander, or Squirtle evolve into Venusaur, Charizard, or Blastoise back then. In Pokemon X and Y, they can evolve even more with Mega Evolutions: Mega Venusaur, Mega Charizard, and Mega Blastoise. After a Pokemon transforms into its Mega Evolution, its appearance changes, it releases a secret power, and exerts power that's only possible when in Mega Evolution. There are even more secrets to Mega Evolution. The first is a black bracelet that a trainer wears called the Mega Ring. Mega Evolution occurs when the Mega Ring that the trainer wears and the Mega Stone that the Pokemon possesses connect with each other. In order for this to happen, the connection between the trainer and their Pokemon becomes very important. Mega Evolution is said to be the biggest secret of the Kalos region, where Pokemon X and Y take place. There are a lot of other Pokemon besides Venusaur, Charizard, and Blastoise that will have Mega Evolutions, such as Lucario and Absol. Players can unlock all the secrets by playing Pokemon X and Pokemon Y.
It's pretty exciting to see Mega Evolutions of the first 3 Pokemon and have them go beyond their ultimate state.
Yes, I hope everyone will feel the same.
It must be really exhilarating for people who enjoyed Pokemon Red and Blue, don't you think?
Yes, definitely. As a player, it's fun to imagine how each Pokemon will turn out with Mega Evolution. I want to see what happens to every single Pokemon. How they will all look as Mega Evolutions.
If you think of Charizard as the ultimate form of the ultimate Pokemon, it will now go beyond that. That's interesting.
Yeah. During a battle, I think there will be a moment when a player's feelings seem to actually go into the game and combine with their Pokemon. And that's when Mega Evolution happens. That was our hope while creating these games, and I believe we've done a good job of it. I'd like everyone to see and have fun with Mega Evolutions.
Well, as a regular final segment of Pokemon Direct, I'd like to ask you to say something to our audience. Why don't you start, Mr. Ishihara?
Sure. I have so much to say about Pokemon X and Pokemon Y, because I'm pretty emotionally attached to them. Pokemon X and Y will be released globally on October 12th in 7 different languages, which means you can select any language among the 7. We've always dreamed that these games would be released around the world on the same day. And on October 12th, I'll be happy to see this dream finally come true. Also, as a player, I've been with Pokemon for a long time, and I feel like Mega Evolutions are the expression of everything in the past. So I'd like everyone to experience Mega Evolutions together.
How about you, Mr. Masuda?
I know there were a lot of difficulties for my staff, because this was the first time we had a global, simultaneous launch, and also we made 3D models of all of the Pokemon. However, the difficulties were converted into fun, and these games have a lot of it. When the games passed testing at Nintendo, I was in tears a little bit in front of my staff. My heart and soul are in these games that much. I'd be really happy for everyone to enjoy these games, because they are where my world of Pokemon and the world of Game Freak converge together.
Thank you. I feel like the game has so much more depth in various aspects, and I like the fact that customers will have a lot of choices when they play. A player can enjoy playing with cute Pokemon thanks to Pokemon Ami, or master the new styles of battles and think about the best strategy around a brand new type of Pokemon. On the other hand, a player can also set a goal of collecting 3,000 Pokemon in the Pokemon Bank and showing them off. There are so many ways to play, and this is the Pokemon game that has fun for everyone. I hope that it will be the game that everyone can have fun with. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
Today we delivered you Nintendo Direct in a little bit of a different manner. How was it? There's only 1 month left until we release Pokemon X and Pokemon Y to everyone in the world, so please hang on tight a little bit longer. I'm looking forward to it too. As you may also be aware, we have announced a special Pokemon X and Y themed Blue Nintendo 3DS XL system for Japan. Today, I'd also like to announce that this same special edition Blue system, as well as this special edition Red Nintendo 3DS XL system, will be released on the 27th of September in North America and Europe. For more details, please visit the official website. Thank you for watching.